TYT Sports, we are joined by Robert Exel, the editor-in-chief of Boxing.com. Robert, how are you today?
I'm good, and you, Rick?
I'm doing well. So let's talk about Adrien Broner. Many are saying that he is the future of boxing. We can't really disagree with that, at least I can't. We can get to your take on that in a moment. However, he is fighting Gavin Rees of Wales. This will be Reese's first fight in the States. He said that he's traveled to Paris before and he's won there, so this is no big deal. He had many more outlandish comments aimed towards Adrien Broner. We'll also get to that in a moment. Firstly, this is the first defense for Adrien Broner. He is fighting again at the Boardwalk Hall. This is 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday on HBO. You know, a lot of people are saying that this is a lopsided fight. I believe the odds were like 30-1, 40-1, depending on which gambling website you frequent. The last time he was there, he beat Antonio DeMarco, who many said was the best fighter in the division. So, I mean, what is the ceiling on this guy exactly, and what do you expect without giving me an outcome, what do you expect for this fight Saturday night?
Well, in terms of the ceiling, I think the sky's the limit for Broner. He is an amazing talent. I think, he has been lionized, as you know, been called the future of boxing. He is heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather, in part because of his skills, in part because of his out-of-the-ring manner, his attitude. But he's an amazing talent, and I think everybody in boxing knows that he's an amazing talent. So I think the sky's the limit with him. The weekend fight is not really going to be very competitive. Reese only has one loss, so he is he's a solid fighter, but and a former champion. But he had won the title 5 years ago. He's a come-forward fighter. Anybody who's ever seen his face knows that he's a come-forward fighter because all the evidence is there on his face to be seen. But it ought to be a good contest as long as it lasts. But I do think it's going to be a wipeout.
Now, Broner is 25-0 with 21 knockouts. He is just 23 years old. Again, the sky is the limit for this guy. Second world title in a second weight class when he beat up on Antonio DeMarco. Now, let's get to Reese very quickly. As you said, he does have one loss, 37-1-1. Not necessarily a well-traveled man, but he is 32 years old. Let me give you a few of the quotes that he gave us. I'm going to knock this fucker out Saturday night, and I can't wait. His attitude stinks, man. He shows fighters no respect, but he hasn't even earned the right to do that. What has he done? I've been in the States for 5 weeks now, and American boxing fans don't like him. They tell me they hope I beat him and shut him up. I think he acts like a fool for no reason, and no one really likes that. Who has he fought? I've seen his fights, and half of those guys just stood in front of him, letting him dictate the pace of the fight. I'm going to let him do that. I'm not going to let him do that. That's important. This is the first fight that I've trained away from home because I'm going to show him I'm no walk in the park. Now, you can talk the talk. The question is, can you walk the walk? Adrien Broner is by far one of the most talented and skilled fighters we've ever seen, fighting so well on the outside, displaying great punching power on the inside. And he says that he's not going to be that sort of opponent who stands right in front of Broner. However, what you just told me is that he's a come-forward fighter. So will he stand right in front of him?
Well, I think he will. I think he's going to try to push him to the ropes, but Broner is superb along the ropes. He's got that amazing upper body movement. He is a hard person to hit. It's easy to be cocky, and cockiness is wonderful, but cockiness doesn't win fights. And cockiness against Broner, who is himself a master of being cocky, is not really going to work. Reese can say what he wants to say, what he needs to say in order to build up the gate. That's part of the game. But I'm not expecting this fight to be Bambi versus Godzilla, but I am not really expecting Reese to be competitive. I expect him to be out of there by the 5th or 6th round. As
we have and other boxing fans have assessed, Adrien Broner seems to be a clone of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather says that he has, in the 24/7 HBO documentaries, he has never watched tape of his opponents. Adrien Broner has said he has never watched tapes of his opponents. Floyd Mayweather, has basically tore up every division that he's been in, 5 world titles at 154. Adrien Broner recently said that he can even see himself winning at 154. Does he take these as compliments? Does he take them in stride with how good of a fighter he is? Or do we need to just stop with all of this nonsense right now?
I think Broner takes it in stride. I mean, Broner was recognized very early on as an amateur as being an exceptional talent. Both he and his brother boxed. Actually, all of his brothers boxed, but he and his brother were exceptional. And, of course, Broner is really head and shoulders above not only his family, but against really everybody else in his division. He takes all this with a grain of salt. His out-of-ring manner, he's not a humble fellow. He's not especially mature, but he is who he is. And I think that his trash talk, which, as you know, is eloquent, is very much a part of his nature. But at the same time, it does alienate a lot of boxing fans, but not all of them. He speaks to a lot of people, and again, I like it when his fists do the talking myself.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Robert. I mean, what would the public rather have? I know that everyone's opinion is different, and quite frankly, I love the guys who trash talk. Not too much. Not when they go over the top. Not when they, disrespect families and moms and wives and all of that, girlfriends. However, a heavy dose of trash talk, I think, is totally fine. Especially in boxing when it's one-on-one instead of the NBA when it's 5-on-5, the NFL when it's 11-on-11. So let me ask you this. Would you prefer to have an Adrien Broner type where he plays along with the media, hypes up the gate, and trash talks to an extent his opponent? Or would you rather have a watered-down, filtered, answered fighter who just kind of says, yeah, I'm going to take it in stride and I'm going to try to win?
I think a lot depends on taste. Someone like Andre Ward, who never speaks ill of anybody, and is wonderful in the ring, but of course he himself has his detractors. Broner, on the other hand, really sort of the flip side of Andre Ward, and he also has his detractors. I mean, there's no singular fighter or singular manner of someone who's going to appeal to everybody. When Gene Tunney defeated Jack Dempsey, it was like a shock because Tunney was this eloquent, Shakespeare-spouting, yet amazing boxer and never captured the public imagination. So the public likes fighters who are, mad dogs. They like fighters who drink petrol and breathe fire. And Broner, in a sense, does exactly that.
Obviously, you will see this as a win for Broner. What round do you think? Is there going to be a knockout or decision? I think
it's going to be a knockout. I think he's going to be stopped, maybe past the middle, maybe fifth, sixth, or seventh round. I think Reese is going to put up a good contest, but again, he's really in there with the best of the best.
I would probably say a ninth round knockout just because, granted, you can't measure heart. And DeMarco clearly displayed heart when he was beaten up through 5 rounds and then his corner finally threw in the towel for him in the 8th. There are a lot of names that are being floated around. Yuri Orcus Gamboa, who's obviously represented by 50 Cent, and which is still a shock for me to say. And, well, he has that PED case in Miami, so that's an iffy question. Richard Abril could be another one. Ricky Burns could be another one. What is next for Adrien Broner if he wins this fight?
I'm not sure. I mean, he's talking about Burns. I mean, it seems to be a fight that he's very interested in. But, again, recently I read an interview with Broner, and he says he has no say, or apparently no interest in who he fights next. He will fight whoever is put in front of him. So it's going to really be up to his management, up to his promoter, Golden Boy, and HBO, who he fights next. And again, Broner's not going to look at tapes. He's simply going to prepare himself as beautifully as he always does, step into the ring and take care of business.
Robert Exel, the editor-in-chief of Boxing.com. You could follow him on Twitter at boxing_com and follow his fantastic writing at www.boxing.com. It makes sense. Robert, thank you so much for the time, and we'll talk to you next week.
Excellent. Thanks, Rick.